year? Are you living in what makes your heart happy and doing the things that you love? Now, I know we're a little bit removed from January, right? From the new year. And lots of people made New Year's intentions. I like to say intentions, not resolutions, but intentions to do better, be better in the new year. Some of you even went along with me on the vision board event and made your one word for the year. How is that going for you? That's what I want to know. I want to hear from you. Put your comments down below. Let me know how all of that has gone for you in the last couple of months, because we're a couple of months removed from January. So I'm assuming that you're making progress, that you've got your vision board up somewhere that you can see it. If that's not you, that's okay too. I just want to come in here and say some people were not ready, right, in January to make big changes. And a lot was going on in our world. A lot is still going on in our world. And maybe you're still not ready. But maybe you are ready. Maybe you've had some time to adjust to all this crazy world that we're living in, and you're ready to make some New Year's intentions. You're ready to find your one word, or you're feeling maybe stuck. And, it's really important that we're making progress. I'm going to be your champion here to say, move towards healthy, because in every decision that we make, we're either moving towards healthy or we're moving away from healthy. But I don't want you to ever think that you're stagnant, that you're not moving, because we're always moving, right? But there's also no neutral. There's no neutral thought that we're having. There's no neutral, what am I putting in my mouth? No, we're either moving in a direction of healthy or we're moving away from healthy. And where are you at right now? Because you have an opportunity. It's a new month, it's every new day we have an opportunity, but especially now with a new month, you have an opportunity to make some changes. So, where do you want to go? And why is this important? I tend to talk about this a lot. And some of you may be thinking, why are we still on this subject? Well, we're still on the subject because life is short, and because I feel like I don't want you to stay stuck, and I don't want you to live in a space of unhealthy, of overweight, of feeling miserable, when life is really short and you have so much more out there for you. So, what else can you be doing? How else can you live your truest, most authentic self that you're going to be living in your heart's desire? And that's so big, right? Some people are thinking, I don't even know what my heart's desire is. And I get you, friend. I know what that's like, to not really know where to go from here. But, back way back in the day, I did some hospice work with the dying. And that was my concentration in undergrad, was death and dying. I know it's so morbid, right? But we learn a lot from people who are going through the end stages of life. And there was some research done, and the number one regret from people who are dying is not living their most authentic self. It was living somebody else's expectation was the top regret. And that's why I feel so passionate about talking to you about your choices and about living in what's going to make you happy and where you're going from here. So, what is that for you? Are you feeling stuck? I wanted to give you a few action steps, because what I know to be true is that when we get into action is when we get unstuck. So, we just have to keep taking the next step. And sometimes we don't know what that is. So, action step number one, and if you want to get a pen to write these down, write them down. If you are getting my newsletter, then you're going to get my newsletter Monday that's going to have these action steps if you can't write them down right now. But action step number one is know where you are right now, know where you want to go, and know how to get there. Those are the three things we have to know. Number one is know where you want to go, or know where you are, know where you want to go. And then we have to figure out how to get there. That's the first thing, right? Action step number 2, and I wrote these down so that I wouldn't get them all confused, is what's the first tiniest step to make action on your goal? The tiniest thing that you know that you're going to have success with. What's that one thing that you can put into place right now? Tiny, tiny, tiny step. So I'm not talking big. This is where we get stuck, right? We have a huge goal. It's like the elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, one tiny bite at a time. So it's almost like looking at our Shred 10, our detox program, this 10-day detox, and you see all the guidelines, and it's like, I can't do all that. I can't give up my coffee and sugar, and take it one little step at a time. If you can't give up everything, fine. What's the one thing that you can do? Right? And we start there, the tiniest little step. So we got to know where we are and where we want to go. Step number 1. But step number 2 is what's the tiniest little step that you can take to get there. And I'm not talking to the end, but to make progress, right? To get into action, get moving. Step number 3 is to write it down. Whatever that step is, that tiny step that you're going to start implementing in your day, write it down in your calendar, date and time. Now, why do I say this? Is because most of the time we have these great ideas, we have these great intentions. They don't go anywhere though. What's written in your calendar is what's going to take priority. And that I definitely know to be true. Whether I'm health coaching with somebody or whether it's my own life, if it is not written down in my calendar, it does not get priority. So we need a date and time for these things to happen. Step number 4 is to tell a friend. So, who is your buddy when it comes to health? Maybe that's somebody in your household. Maybe that's somebody like me and Audrey that lives, half a world away, but we still talk every day. And so she still knows what's going on and what my goals are, whether it's my business or my health, working out, what I ate today. Yeah. So we want to have somebody like that in our lives who's going to hold us accountable. If you are surrounded by people who are not supporting you in your heart's desire, that's not going to help move you into that healthy space, right? Either going towards healthy or we're moving away from healthy. So choose people wisely, choose your environment wisely. If you have a pantry that is full of junk food, that's not going to help you to move forward, right, in your health journey. So choose the environment wisely, choose your friends wisely, tell somebody about your goal. Number 5 is to practice it and to track it. Practice that tiny step, right? And I'm guessing that these tiny steps are going to be something that you have to put into place consistently. There's something that you're going to be doing on a consistent basis to get you moving toward that goal or that, health goal that you have, whatever it is that you really want in your life. And the last step here is that once you practice it and once you're tracking it, you want to figure out what is the next tiniest step. And usually in the health coaching world, I like to say, once you've had 30 days to practice your habit and you're getting into a great rhythm and system with whatever it is, that tiny first step, what's the next tiny step that you can make? So follow those action steps. Number 1, know where you are and where you want to go. And that sometimes takes the longest, right? Is to figure out, where do I want to go from here? What do I even want? What is my heart's desire? Because right now I'm miserable. That's what I tend to hear. Right now it's not working, but trying to figure out what I do want, that can be a hard step, right? And maybe we need to have a little chat about that. What is it? How can we start moving in the right direction? Number 2, what's the tiniest first step that you can do? Number 3, write it down, date and time in your calendar that you're going to start moving toward that. Number 4, tell a friend. Number 5, practice it and track it. And then the last piece there is to figure out what the next step is going to be. Sounds easy, right? It sounds easy. But in reality, making these steps work for you can be a little bit tricky. So I want you to just start one step at a time. And like I said, if you need help moving in the right direction, get help. But the point is to not stay stuck. This is another opportunity. It is March, another season, a new opportunity to do something new, something that is going to get you excited. I want you to wake up in the morning excited about what you do, excited about moving forward and where your life is moving, the direction that you're going. And we can help you with that. So get connected with our community, whether it's the small groups that we're doing, whether it's the detox, the workout groups, or in the larger Facebook community that you're in. So have a great weekend, you guys. Thank you for coming into another Coach's Corner, and I will see you next week.